Part 1. The Hunter-Gatherer. Before cities and before farms, we lived in small groups, constantly moving and living outside. They didn't smell as bad as you'd think. Because think about it. They ate no processed foods, no refined sugar, no chemicals, and more importantly, they didn't wear synthetic clothes or use harsh modern soaps. Because smell is mostly about the bacteria that live on you. Their bacteria was balanced, natural, and surprisingly mild. Part 2. The teeth problem. Hunter-gatherers generally had excellent teeth. No cavities and healthy gums. Why? Eating raw meat, fibrous plants, and tough fruits literally scrubbed their teeth as they chewed. Then agriculture happened and everything fell apart. Grains, bread, beer, sugar, the first farming populations show a massive spike in tooth decay. We literally traded our dental health for civilization. Part 3. Egypt, the first beauty industry. Some of what they figured out is genuinely astonishing. Start with the eyeliner. Everyone knows that Egyptians wore thick black eyeliner around their eyes. But here's what nobody tells you. The makeup contained lead salts that, when applied around the eyes, killed up to 94% of harmful bacteria. The Egyptians thought that it was magic. It was actually an antibacterial eye treatment. They were fighting eye infections, which were extremely common in dusty desert environments, with their own makeup. Egyptians also invented the first deodorant, not a spray or a roll-on. They ground herbs and flowers into a paste, mixed it with oil or animal fat, and stored it in their armpits like a pellet. The result was reportedly odorless and effective. They also invented the breath mint. Cinnamon, pine seeds, cashews ground into powder, bond with honey, rolled into small balls and chewed. 5,000 years ago, fresh breath was already a priority. Part 4. Lice. Hunter-gatherers, ancient Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, they all had them. Head lice has been around with humans for over 1 million years. We inherited our lice from earlier men. Egyptians dealt with lice by shaving everything. Priests shaved their entire body every other day. Hunter-gatherers had a different approach. They managed lice through social grooming, picking them out of each other's hair. Part 5. Ancient Greece. Ancient Greece had no soap, and yet the Greeks were obsessed with cleanliness. So what did they do? They invented a system that sounds insane but actually worked. Step 1. Cover your entire body in olive oil, not for moisturizing, but because oil traps dirt and sweat against the skin. Step 2. Exercise hard. Step 3. Scrape the oil, dirt, and sweat off your body. Then rinse. And that's it. Their entire cleaning routine. And here's what it gets truly bizarre. The scraped off grime had a name, gloios. And people bought it. Not a joke. The gloios scraped off the bodies of athletes at the gym was collected in jars and sold as medicine. People believed that rubbing an athlete's sweat, oil, and dead skin onto their own body would transfer the athlete's strength and vitality. Meanwhile, the Romans, famous for their plumbing and public baths, used urine as mouthwash, because the ammonia in urine whitens teeth and kills bacteria, which means the most advanced civilization in ancient world was gargling pee every morning. Part 6. China. China was building one of the most incredible hygiene cultures in the ancient world. And it started with a law. 3,000 years ago, the Zhou dynasty. The Book of Rites, one of China's oldest official texts, laid out exact hygiene rules for every citizen. Wash your hair every 3 days. Bathe your body every 5 days. Not suggestions, official standards of civilized conduct. And if you visited someone's home, your host was required to draw you to a bath before dinner. Showing up clean was basic social respect. Then the Han Dynasty took it even further. The government paid officials paid time off, specifically to bathe. It was called the bathing holiday. Every 5 working days, officials got a day off. Not for rests, but for washing. It became a public institution. Oh, and the toothbrush. The world's first real toothbrush was invented in the Tang Dynasty, around 619 AD. Boar hair bristles, stiff and effective, attached to a handle of bamboo or animal bone. Rich people used horsehair, softer. This design traveled along the Silk Road to Europe centuries later, and the toothbrush that Europeans eventually invented in the 1700s was a direct descendant of a Chinese design that was already 1,000 years old. Part 7. When hygiene got worse. In Europe in the Middle Ages, and also because of the fall of the Roman Empire, well, hygiene got worse. Farming meant that people stopped moving, and staying in one place meant that waste accumulated. More people together meant disease spread faster. Hunter-gatherers lived in small mobile groups. They never built up enough density for an epidemic. Farming changed that. And suddenly, thousands of people in permanent settlements, animals living next to humans, and sewage near water. Disease obviously exploded. The skeleton tells a story. Before agriculture, tall, well-nourished, good teeth, and few infections. And after agriculture, shorter, malnourished, rotting teeth, and riddled with disease. In the Eastern Mediterranean, average male height before farming was 5'11". It took thousands of years for humans to recover the health standards that ancestors had naturally.